Your Girl.
That's right, it's a podcast.
It's Pod For Yah Girl.
We got to go live.
Pod For Yah Girl. It's Pod For Yah Girl. Hey, what's up, you guys? It is your girl, Wagochi Alice Lewis here, and welcome to Pod For Yah Girl. Listen, I just want to say thank you to everyone who is showing up and showing love for the podcast. You guys are phenomenal. Thank you for every subscription. Thank you for every like. Thank you for every comment. Thank you for every share. Thank you for just being a part of the Pod For Yah Girl community. We could not do this without you. So I just want to shout you guys out and say thank you so much. And I want that to be the first thing that comes out of my mouth on this episode. All right, you guys, y'all already know this is going to be a phenomenal episode. I'm talking it up, you guys. And we're going to have a talk, y'all. I hope y'all Black History Month has been going great. And like I said in my last episode, I really want this Black History Month to be a month where we shed light on the hard conversations. We shed light on the hard things that need to be discussed, okay? Not always just, of course, we're going to celebrate our heroes and the people who have paved the way for us this Black History Month like we do every Black History Month, and that should never, ever, ever go away. So I hope you guys are celebrating in your own ways. However, I do want us to not just celebrate, but I want us to dig deeper and shed light on topics, things, situations that we may go through as a Black community and Black people, okay? Y'all know this podcast is definitely for all of my women of color out there, but because it's Black History Month, I think it's special for us to really shine light on some things that we go through as Black women. So if you're tuning in from whatever culture, whatever nationality, whatever ethnicity, I hope you can understand this. I'm also going to have some other things in here thrown into the topic as well. So let's go, y'all. This is a real topic for me on today because I'm literally going through this as we speak. And I want to talk to all of my Black moms out there. I want to talk to all of my women of color out there who are moms, especially my Black moms, because I feel like there's such a stigma in society to be a certain type of way as a Black mom, or there's a stigma in society that, you know, this is what the Black mom is, and this is how she looks, and this is how she feels, and she's strong, and she's, you know, weak at the same time. And it's just like, okay, we strong, but we weak. You know what I mean? And then it's like, we're going to get into it in the Patch Your Weave segment. We're going to really unpack it, and we're really going to, you know, look at some statistics, and we're really going to break some things down. And it's my hope that after this episode, y'all feel encouraged, y'all feel empowered, y'all feel like y'all going to be out here making a difference in not just the lives of your kids, but in the lives of another Black mom. And so we see each other better. That's what I really hope this episode does. I hope that it causes us and allows us to see each other better. Okay? All right. So let's get into the Go Girl. Y'all know I always have a Go Girl every episode, right? Well, guess what? This episode, this time around, the Go Girl is every Black mom. Come on, somebody. Every Black mom out there, you get the Go Girl, okay? Because it's hard out here in these Black mom streets, okay? And I just want to be real as a Black mom of two, okay? It is hard out here in these Black mom streets, okay? And I want to quote another Black mom named Aisha. She said, "They see us as either struggling or superwoman, never just moms doing our best." And listen, I resonate with that. Sometimes, you know, that's what I was talking about earlier. Like sometimes, you know, we're either too weak or we're too strong. You know what I mean? We get this superwoman stamp on our backs, and it's just like, we're strong, we could do anything, we are, the kids look up to us, the husbands look up to us, the dads look up to us, and they are looking at us to hold everything all together. But then on the other side, in a different part of society, they look at us as we are struggling, right? We're some of Black women's, Black women, the statistics of being a single mom are high, you guys. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to dive deep into it because I just want to say like what we go through as Black moms. And if I can be transparent, the reason why I really want to do this episode is because today I found myself having to advocate for my child, for my son, very, very early on, where I didn't realize I would have to advocate for him like this early on. I didn't realize I would have to advocate for him like this at this point in life. He's only 8 years old, y'all. And so I found myself having to advocate for him at his school. And there was a situation that happened, y'all. I'm not going to go into full detail, but there was a situation that happened that I just was like, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. I raised my child. I talked to him with respect. And I don't know about y'all, but for me in my house, we treat our kids with respect. That doesn't mean that they just run all over us. That doesn't mean that we're gonna just let them do whatever. It means that I don't dismiss him. Okay. It means that I don't talk down to him. It means that I'm not going to say things like that's going to dehumanize him or make him feel like he's less than a man, or I'm not even going to say a man, less than a kid that's going to be a one day Black man in society. Okay. And so because we treat our kids with respect, it's like I knew everybody wasn't going to treat my kids with respect, but I didn't know that it would be to the level of what it is, the situation that occurred. And so because of what happened, it really made me want to do this episode, you guys, and just shout out all Black moms, because somewhere down the line, when I had to advocate for him, this is where it really, got me, where I was like, okay, I got to talk about this on the podcast. What got me was that I was almost feeling bad, that I was just like, oh no, don't go up to the school because you're going to be that Black mom. You're going to be that mom. You're going to be the mom, that, people see coming and like, oh, get out her way. Don't mess with her. Don't play with her. She's that mom. This stigma of, a Black mom that's going to cuss you out at the drop of a dime, a Black mom that always got an attitude, that angry Black woman, right? We never going to run away from that one. And so it's like, I almost did not want to say anything because I was like, dag, I want a good relationship with his school. I want a good relationship with his teacher. I want a good relationship with, his class. So I don't want to be that mom, right? I don't want to be seen as this individual. Don't look at me as the Black mom that got an attitude. She got to come up to the school. But look at me as I am a mom trying to do what's best for my child in this moment. And I'm always going to be his number one advocate. Okay. All right. So I really want to just say to every mom out there who has ever been afraid to advocate for your child, every Black mom out there who has ever been afraid to speak up for your child because you will look a certain type of way. You will be seen like you are a certain type of way. You would, be looked at like, she's that mom, that angry Black woman, the mom that you don't want to see coming. You know what I mean? Here's what I got to say to that. Go girl, you are that mom, okay? And if they don't want to see you coming, then that's okay, baby, because you still gonna come, okay? You still gonna be right on the way up to the school, advocating for your child, doing what you gotta do. You still gonna put him first. You still gonna put her first. You still gonna drop everything at the drop of a dime and do what it takes to push him, encourage her, be there for him, be there for her, be there for your child, okay? And I want to say that at the end of the day, this is the culture, baby. This is the culture. This is who we are, okay? We gonna show up. We gonna ride for our kids, okay? And we gonna cancel shame. We're gonna cancel embarrassment. We're gonna cancel, oh, she's that mom. You know what I mean? And we're gonna still show up despite of, because guess what? When Susan and them showing up at the school, it's a different energy, okay? It's a different energy. It's not like, oh, she's that mom. It's like, oh, there's Susan. Hey, Susan. How you doing, Susan? Welcome, Susan. Come on in, Susan. What do you have to say, Susan? You got anything to say, Susan? You got anything to say about the child? It's that energy. It's a different energy. But best believe, even though it's a different energy, Susan is still that mom. She's just that mom in a different way, okay? And this doesn't have anything to do with momming, because I respect every mom out there, okay? Let's get that clear. This has nothing to do with momming. This is all about the fact of, are you okay with advocating for your child? And there are different consequences that we have to face and we may receive based on who we are in culture and what society says about us as a Black woman in culture. There are different things, consequences that come with that. There's a different narrative that Susan doesn't get, okay? There's a different narrative, but just believe, I love Susan. I think she should advocate for her child. Every mom out there should always advocate for her child. But the consequences is what we're talking about today, okay? The consequences that come with the culture, the consequences that come with the skin color, the consequences that come when you are that mom. You are perceived differently, okay? Because you may talk like this. All right. It doesn't mean, and this is what I want us to do as a society. And that's why I'm saying go girl. Because if you talk with your neck like this and your finger up, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. We're not going to be yelling and cussing nobody out. But if it's okay, all right? Because at the end of the day, that is the culture, all right? And I always want to encourage everyone to, yes, be respectful when you are advocating for your child. Be respectful. But at the same time, never be afraid to advocate for your child. And so I'm living this out as we speak, y'all. That's why y'all hear it in my voice. Y'all hear the tone. Y'all hear y'all hear it. And this might be a 2-part episode because I want to address in this episode momming. But in the next episode, I want to actually address the educational system, okay, from that perspective of stereotyping our children. And so this might be a 2-part episode, but I want y'all to stick around for it because I'm just on the Go Girl segment. I'm just getting started, okay? So go girl to every Black mom out there. And if you are afraid to advocate for your child because you may be perceived as that girl, that mom that's coming down the street, that's coming up the hallway, okay? And people hate to see you coming, okay? If you may be afraid to advocate for your child because of that, but we're going to cancel people-pleasing, that people-pleasing spirit. We're going to cancel that right now, okay? Because at the end of the day, the only person you got to worry about pleasing is being a great mom to your child. And when they grow up, they're going to thank you because they don't see you as that mom, okay? They see you as that mom. Ooh, y'all see how I did that? Y'all see how I did that? They don't see you as that mom. They see you as that mom, okay? And that's the name of this episode, okay? I'm that mom, okay? Y'all may see me as that mom, but I am that mom, okay? And if you see me coming, it's fine. But just know my child is looking at me coming down the hallway too, and he sees me as that mom, and I will always put him first, okay? So every mom out there who gotta be superwoman yet struggling, who gotta be going through something yet you cooking dinner, who gotta, put the whole household on your back and still carry out the plans, okay? I wanna tell you it's okay, all right? So I want to go over some statistics, okay? And I want to go over some things that are stereotypes. So we moving into the Patro Weave segment, y'all. So go girl. Go girl, period. You're that mom. And remember that. And we always gonna remember that. And we always gonna show up and we always gonna be that mom. Okay? Okay, period. All right. So I want to talk about this. Let's talk about media and society's narrative of us, okay? So I'm going to be talking about women of color as well. So we're going to throw Latina moms in there as well, because this is a full thing that does affect us as women of color, all right? So media and society, let's talk about that. Black and Latina moms are often stereotyped as either too strong, too independent, or struggling single parents who need help. Multiracial moms sometimes feel disconnected from parenting communities that don't reflect their experiences. Example, okay? In Hollywood, Black and Latina moms are rarely portrayed as the stay-at-home mothers in movies and stuff like that, reinforcing the stereotype that women of color always have to work. Okay. And so I want us to understand that this is something that is actually going on in society. Society is backing this up. Society is backing up this narrative of, you're that mom, okay? You're that mom. You're not the stay-at-home mom. You're the go-to-work mom. You know what I mean? You're the work 3 jobs mom. You're the struggling but superwoman mom. Society backs this up. How many times do we see that in movies where we see a single mom and she's working and she's working and she's working and she's, trying to, make ends meet, and, she's, and the child is, outside on the corner doing things that they ain't got no business doing. You know what I mean? How many times do we see that narrative portrayed in society and media, right? All right. So here's another narrative that's always painted. The pressure to overperform. Black and Latina mothers face higher expectations in caregiving and providing financially, making them more likely to experience mom guilt. Okay. Woo, y'all. How many of y'all know about mom guilt? How many of us know about mom guilt? Okay. And this is something where we put pressure on ourselves to show up, to be there, to be a part of every little thing that our kids have going on. And if we're not a part of it, we feel bad, okay? This is coming from a pressure of society to overperform, the narrative of overperforming, okay? Let me give y'all some statistics. 42% of Latina mothers report feeling overwhelmed balancing work and family, compared to 29% of white mothers. And this is coming from the Pew Research Center. Pressure of overperforming is real, okay? The pressure of overperforming is real, okay? Many women of color moms report needing to prove they are good mothers in schools and medical settings, unlike white moms who are given the benefit of the doubt. Okay. And y'all, I just want y'all to understand. That's why I was talking about earlier. The consequences are different. Okay. And I'm not trying to continue to allow us to look at race, but I want y'all to understand that when you advocate, or if you're not just advocating, if you're just showing up for your child, if the homework doesn't get done, if the extracurricular activities don't get done, if these things don't happen, right? We're not given the benefit of the doubt that other moms are given, okay? And so I want to make that clear. I want to make it clear that we are not afforded the same luxuries as everyone else, as other moms. We are not afforded that, okay? And so sometimes you got to understand that we have to go hard, but not in a sense of overperforming, but we gotta go hard mentally to overcome these stigmas, stereotypes, mental blockades that will cause us to think that we are not good enough, right? This is what society is telling us, that we are not good enough, okay? And so I want to shift the focus back. I want to shift the focus back to advocating for our kids and what that really looks like when it comes to being a Black mom. I want to shift it back to Black moms for a second as well. What it looks like, what we have to go through to really advocate for our kids, okay? Let's look at educational barriers, okay? All right. Black children are 3.5 times more likely to be suspended from school than white children, even for minor infractions. This is from the U.S. Department of Education, okay? And I just want y'all to understand that. I just want 3.5 times, not 1.2, not 1 point, not 0.3, okay? 3.5 times more likely to be suspended, okay? And this is for even minor infractions. And so I want you guys to understand, when it comes to being a Black mom, this is what Black children are going through. And so as a Black mom, you got to advocate for your child. Does the crime fit the punishment? Okay? Does the punishment fit the crime? That's how I should have said it. Okay? And if it doesn't, advocate for your child. Go to the Board of Education. Okay? Call the media. Okay? Do what you got to do. Advocate for your child. Talk to the principal. Okay? Do what you got to do. Advocate for your child. Studies show teachers often have lower expectations for Black students, which can impact self-esteem and performance. Now, I'm not saying that all teachers are racist. I'm not saying that teachers are even racist. I love my teachers. My sister is a teacher. I know a lot of teachers, and I love them. I love them. I love them. And it's so funny because I love the show Abbott Elementary, y'all. I love Abbott. I love Abbott. Do y'all watch Abbott? Drop it in the comments if you watch Abbott. All right. But here's the thing. I'm not saying that teachers are racist. I am not saying that, y'all. But I do believe that there are certain biases that, based on studies, it shows that they just have a lower expectations for Black students. And so as a mom, I'm talking to my Black moms out there. If you know that teachers have a lower expectation for Black students, then what are you going to do? You're going to make sure you're showing up for your child, not with the mom guilt, not with all of those stuff, but what can you do in the home? Ask them questions. Ask them how their day went every single day. Ask them, are they being dismissed? Ask them, are they getting an understanding of what the teacher is teaching? Ask them, is the teacher taking the time and being patient with them? Ask them these questions, okay? Because we see what's going on, okay? Many Black moms have to push harder for their kids to be placed in gifted programs or receive fair treatment in discipline cases, okay? And so I'm not saying that, you guys, the world is just going to pick on your child because of the skin color, the color of their skin. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that, you may not even have experienced this. You may have never had to experience this. And if you haven't, praise God. But if you have, or if your child doesn't talk to you about how their day is going on in school, I want you guys to ask questions. Ask tough questions this Black History Month. Ask tough questions, because you're in the making of the future. And I know it's Black History Month, but I want y'all to really check this out. It's about to be deep. This is about to be deep, what I'm about to say, okay? It's about to be deep. Dr. Martin Luther King lived in his present, right? Now we are in the future, and he is history, okay? He is a part of history, okay? You are living in your present. What are you doing today that's going to shape the next Dr. Martin Luther King, that's going to shape the next Barack Obama, that's going to shape, come on somebody, the next Mary McLeod Bethune, that's going to shape the next Michael Jordan? Come on, y'all. What are we doing with our kids? What are we pouring into them, right? Are we allowing their self-esteem to be beaten up on? Are we allowing them to go to school and come home and then, they're slowly transforming, their dreams are diminishing. Their dreams are dying out because what society is putting on them. They're having low expectations of them. They're not saying, oh, this person's going to be the next governor. This person's going to be the next president of the United States. And their actions are actually lining up with that. Okay. And so I want y'all to understand that when you advocate for your child and when you put your child first, when you let them know like, hey, I see you, son. I see you, daughter. It doesn't matter what they said to you at school. I see you. Come on. When you say those type of things, when you think like that, you understand that your child could be the next Barack Obama. Your child, he is living in the present. She is living in the present. But one day we will be in the future, and one day they will have the chance to be history. Okay. And so you are playing a part in that right now. You're playing a part in that now. And so I really want you guys to truly, truly understand that. I want y'all to understand the part that you are playing. Okay. And here's another thing that I want to shift into, y'all. One of the reasons why I go hard for my son is because no one knows like me what I had to go through to have him, okay? Like when I tell y'all I was sick, I had hyperemesis. I was so sick, you guys, during my first pregnancy because he was my firstborn. And, I was like in and out the hospital the first trimester in tons of pain. And it was so bad. I remember one time I was just screaming at the top of my lungs and I was just in the room by myself. My husband, he still had to work. And I was like literally admitted to the hospital. I was just screaming. I was like, please, somebody help me. I'm in so much pain, just screaming, you guys. And it took forever for a nurse to come, y'all. And then when the nurse came, it was like, oh, well, I have to check with your doctor before I give you any more pain medicine because I don't know. When I tell y'all, I wasn't even eating. I think they had to feed me through an IV. I could not eat. I could not hold down food. I could not barely hold down water. I probably drank like 3 sips of water a day. I could not hold down anything. I was in so much pain. And so the way that the nurse treated me, she was just like, oh, well, I have to check. And I'm literally screaming and so I want to talk about this, y'all. Maternal mortality rates. Let's talk about it. Maternal mortality rates. Let's talk about it. Black women in the U.S. are 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy related to complications than white women, largely due to systemic racism. Okay? Listen, y'all. So Serena Williams almost died after childbirth, okay? Because doctors dismissed her concerns about blood clots despite her medical history and status, okay? And so I want y'all to understand, y'all, that when I was in the hospital, and this was, and I had a black doctor. I had a black doctor. But there is something called internal racism. And I want us to talk about that this Black History Month. I want us to do better as a culture this Black History Month because it's not just the other people, y'all. It's us. Sometimes it be us. My own doctor told me that she did not believe I was in pain. This is after I had my son. I went back to her for a checkup. You have to, if you've never had a child before, you have to go back after you have your child. You have to go back and do your first checkup and make sure everything is good after you give birth. And so I went back and she told me she did not believe I was in that much pain. She did not believe I wasn't eating for 2 weeks. She thought, this is the words that came out of her mouth. She thought that I was sneaking food in to the hospital and I wanted the pain medication. That's what she told me, y'all. So I was screaming and I was in pain, and no one was giving me pain medication. No one was coming. They was just letting me scream in pain. And afterwards, she admitted that she thought that I was lying. I was like, what? Why? You thought I was a fiend? I was a crackhead? You what? You saw my address and thought I was just like, you know what I'm saying? And it's so crazy because even when I was in the hospital, I saw a shift in her energy when my dad came to the hospital. Y'all, if y'all don't know me, my dad is Nigerian. He's a doctor. He has his doctorates. So when he introduced himself as Dr. Peter Wogu, I'm saying his whole government name, her whole energy shifted towards me. And I started to get the care that I was needing. And I started to get the pain medication. I just want y'all to understand that there was a little bit of systemic racism going on in there. There was a little bit of internal racism. Internal racism, y'all, for those of y'all that don't know, is when we as Black people are harming our own selves. That's what that is. Go look it up. It's a thing. I ain't got time to really dissect it for y'all. That's going to be on the next episode because I'm going to dive deeper into that. But I want to talk about this part right here because at the end of the day, this is what's happening. This is what's happening. Let's talk about single motherhood and parenting struggles. About 67% of Black children are raised in single parent household compared to 24% of white children. Okay. And so I want y'all to understand when there was a shift in her energy towards me, this is like in my mid-20s, y'all. So I'm a young girl. You know what I'm saying? I was a young girl back then. Okay. And like the energy just shifted because she saw like, wow, she has a dad and her dad is from Nigeria. And she actually, she may not really be a fiend. She may really be in pain. Let me get this girl some medication. Let me get her feeling like, but this is my thing. You withheld care from me based upon your ideology of who I was. And it wasn't till you had a full picture of who I was that you decided to give me care. Wow, y'all. Wow, wow, wow. And so I really, really, really want y'all to understand this Black History Month. You got to advocate for yourself sometimes. As a Black mom, as being that mom, you and this is like so deep to me, y'all. This is like it's in my heart. It's in my heart. That's what I mean. Because there's a transition that happened. Like in that moment, I was trying to advocate for myself. I was trying to advocate for this baby to be born, to, get through this pregnancy, not, fail the pregnancy, and I'm trying to advocate. And so when I say you're that mom, no one knew what you had to go through to get your child here. Sometimes I had to advocate for him in the womb. I had to advocate for myself so that we can get through that time. So when I say you're that mom, understand you are that mom. And sometimes your child may not even be here, but I want you to get it in your mind that you're that mom, okay? And if you have to advocate for yourself, if you have to push, if you have to knock down doors, if you have to keep pushing the call button to get the medication, to get the things that you need, if you have to keep speaking up, if you have to keep on showing up for yourself, do what you got to do. You are that mom. Okay. And so I really, really, really hope this is making sense to y'all. I hope somebody is getting something from this. I hope you guys are understanding that advocating for yourself as a mom, advocating for your child, you got to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it. Okay. And so let me just say this. There are some moms out there that have just blown this stereotypical what it looks like to be a Black mom out of the water. And I want you guys to take some inspiration and encouragement from them. And so we're moving into the faith-filled segment. I don't have a scripture for y'all. I don't have a prayer for y'all. But I want to instill faith in a different way, y'all, this time. And then I'm gonna come back and encourage y'all with some things. But I want you guys to understand that Michelle Obama redefined what a first lady could be while being an active mother. I want you guys to understand she really changed the narrative of a Black mom just by being a first lady, the first lady of the United States, the first Black woman to be a first lady in the United States. And she had 2 kids. And so if you don't have faith, that you can do it, I want you to know that you can do it. You can be a successful mom. You can be an impactful mom. You can be a wonderful mom. And you can have the wonders of being a first lady. You can, this is another one, Tabitha Brown, y'all know her. Tabitha Brown created a wellness empire while prioritizing gentle, holistic parenting. Also, Rihanna openly embraced Black motherhood while running a billion-dollar business. I actually heard her talking the other day. Somebody asked her, like, do you feel like you're yourself again after giving birth to 2 kids? And she was like basically saying, no, like that me is not me anymore. All I'm trying to do right now is normalize this new normal. This is my new normal. I'm a mom and I run this business and I run this empire. That's who I am. And I have to embrace that. The old me, the rock star me, that's gone. But this is who I am. And so I want y'all to have faith that these women did that while giving birth. These women did that while giving birth. And so we talked about the mom guilt. We talked about, being the mom that people hate to see coming. We talked about, this disparities in having to be superwoman yet struggling and single motherhood. And we talked about the maternal mortality rate. And so all of those things can be overwhelming. It can be overwhelming for you as a Black mom. It's almost enough to make you want to throw in the towel and give up. But I want you guys to find faith today. I want you guys to know that God is with you, okay? Where are my believers at? Where you just had to do nothing but pray. Where you just had to do nothing but seek God. Where you just had to do nothing but get the oil and smother it all over your kids' foreheads, okay? We need to take it back to that. Okay, we need to go back there. We need to just get the oil and just begin to, not the finger, the palm. Okay, we need to get the palm. Okay, okay, and so we need to just begin to anoint our kids. Okay, so that we know that they are covered when they go into the schools, when they go into wherever the extracurricular activities, when they get in the car, when they get on the plane, whatever they're doing, they are covered in the blood of Jesus. And I'm talking to myself today, y'all, because when I tell y'all I am going through something right now, and I'm telling y'all, my kid's going to be lathered up in oil. And I know that God is going before me. He's going before me, and he's going before you, and he's going before your kids, just like he's going before my kids. And if Michelle Obama could do it, come on, and Rihanna could do it, if Tabitha Brown can do it, if these women could do it, they moms, but they're successful. They're running these multi-million-dollar businesses. They're being first ladies. Listen, you can do it. Okay, so we're going to cancel and shut out the mom guilt. You are going to be a great mom. You are going to continue to advocate for your kids. You are not that mom. You are that mom. And you always remember that, okay? You're not struggling as superwoman. No, you are a mom that's just trying to be a great mom. And that's enough for your kids. That's enough for you. And if anybody else doesn't like it, oh well. Okay? But show up. Talk about the hard things. Talk about the hard things. It's the last thing I'm going to say. Embrace joy and softness in motherhood, okay? Break the cycle of survival mode, okay? Break that cycle and allowing Black moms to embrace and enjoy peace, okay, in parenting. We want our peace. Okay? We want our peace. Okay? We want our peace. Okay? In motherhood. We want to be able to say, this is who I am. This is the mom I am. And I'm at peace with that. And if you don't like it, oh, well, I'm not changing. Okay? This is how I know y'all advocate one way, but this is how I advocate for my child. And I got peace with that. I ain't saying cuss nobody out, but I'm saying, okay, I ain't saying cuss nobody out. But I'm saying, okay, we're going to advocate for our kids and we're going to be okay, okay? If that's who you say we are, we're going to be okay because we just at a place where we want peace. We want the softness of motherhood, okay? Other races get it. We want it. I want it. Okay. And so, yeah, y'all, this had to be a conversation that had to be had. This had to be had. And I'm so thankful that it was had. And I'm so thankful that it was had here. Our next episode, we diving deep into the educational system. Okay. We talking about it. We talking about the educational system. That's what we gonna do. And I think it's coming at a right time because y'all know Trump. He trying to sign an order about banning the Department of Education. And when I come back, I'm gonna have my point of view, okay, on all of that. And we're gonna talk about it because this is what on Black History Month. This is the conversations that need to be had because we need to be progressing as a community. Okay, we need to be progressing as a community. Do the celebrations. I keep saying that. Celebrate the people them, okay? But we also need to talk about what's going on because the only way we can move forward as a people is if we talk about what's going on. If we're silent, if we just taking what people give us and we just not saying nothing and we just like, oh, that happened to my child. Okay, it's all right. He'll be all right. No, we're not just going to take it. The only way these things can change is if we talk about it. Where's the generation that's going to talk about it? Where y'all at? Show up in the comments. Let me know where y'all at. Because we got to talk about these things, okay? All right. So thank you guys so much. Let me see, did I miss anything? We talked about the Go Girl. The Go Girl is every Black mom out there. So go girl, keep shining, keep loving your kids, keep kissing them, keep doing everything that you got to do to keep going. And we not surviving anymore. We are living in peace, knowing that we are who we are, culture and all. And that's enough for us because we are what? We are that mom. And so share your experiences with me. Hashtag that mom. Hashtag Pod For Yah Girl. Share your experiences and let me know why you are that mom. Even if you know that mom, shout her out. If you're not a mom and you're listening to this episode, shout her out and let me know why she is that mom, okay? It's time for us to talk about these things. Y'all, what a wonderful episode. I'm super thankful that we were able to talk about this and have some real conversations about this. And I want y'all to know that we're not alone because as women of color, y'all saw the stats from the Latino women. They going through these things too, okay? So let's stop with the division, okay? Let's stop with the division and let's just try our best to support each other within the grander community, okay? I like that, grander community. I like that. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here at Pod For Yah Girl, listening to this episode. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on the episode. Comment, please. And until the next episode, Peace out. Pop for your girl.
That's right, it's a podcast.
It's pop for your girl.
We got to go out.
Pop for your girl. It's pop